So, I'm going to be doing two very unique videos. I haven't done this before, but I have seen this trend, and I was like, you know what? I want to give my thoughts real quick and kind of talk about what movies I like, what this subject is. And these next two videos you're going to see are pretty unique in that this first one, as you can see, my 10 most anticipated movies for the rest of 2023. And then I'm going to talk about my top 10 videos of 2023 so far, since we've hit the halfway point for the year. Since we've basically hit the halfway point for the year, I thought, like, hey, there's still some movies I want to see. And I'm going to also talk about the next video, my 10 movies my top 10 movies so far that might change. There's still like 6 months left in the year. So let's get to, so for this, there's not going to be it's not going to be a top 10. It's just going to be 10 movies I'm very excited to see. There's no order to it. There's not, but the other one, the next video will be a top 10. So yeah, so let's get started with, like I said, no order. But let's start off with the first movie I'm excited for, and that comes out this week, and that's Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer has been one of the movies that I've been thoroughly excited for this year. I've been very much, like I said when I talked about my top 10 most anticipated movies for 2023, Oppenheimer was on the list. I love Christopher Nolan's work. I do love Christopher Nolan's work, but I don't love everything from Christopher Nolan, like Tenet or Interstellar. Fuck me. I'm not smart enough to get Interstellar. But like Inception, of course, the Dark Knight trilogy, The Prestige, all those movies, I absolutely adore it. And this movie is apparently like cinema magic so far. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing Oppenheimer. And yeah, just looking forward to it. Next up, we have The Haunted Mansion. Haunted Mansion is a Disney movie that, like, so far the trailers have been selling me on it, in that we're following a storyline of characters that are way more likable, and the movie actually has like something to do with the ride, like, and it actually looks scary and not like it's like almost like an 80s horror movie, like an 80s children's movie where it's scary as shit, but you can still watch it and feel tough for it. So I think it, like, yeah, could the trailers be overselling it? Possibly. That's kind of something you need to really look out for, is that this could easily fall flat. And I am kind of waiting to get my heart broke. Disney movies have been kind of like, especially the Disney live action movies have been pretty like they've been very much for this season. So Haunted Mansion, I'm curious, but like I'm waiting to get hurt. It's almost like I'm waiting to get hurt. So let's move on to our next one. And August is a big month, and we're gonna start things off with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Mutant Mayhem. Everything I've seen about this movie, everything I have seen about TMNT Mutant Mayhem has got me excited. The fact that the Ninja Turtles are actually being teenagers, like we always say they are, seeing them as teenagers is a really cool idea, a really cool concept we hardly ever get to see. And then act like teenagers. I know, like, they're always teenagers, but yeah, to see them actually voiced by teenage voice actors, as well as seeing them like be like actual kids, it's really cool. And I really love the animation style. It really does look like Across the Spider-Verse has like made people, like animation departments, step up their game. So to see it done, in this fashion is going to be really cool. I'm very excited. And I'm very excited for where this universe is going to go, because now we know that there's going to be animated films exclusively for Paramount Plus. So all around, I am very excited for this movie. I didn't have a lot of hype for it, but as we get closer, I'm like starting to really feel just this having a lot of enjoyment. I'm loving the cast so far. I'm always a sucker for a good Turtles movie. So yeah. Anyway, next up is the Last Voyage of the Demeter, which is the Universal Dracula movie. funny that we've had two of Universal Dracula movies, one being Renfield and now this. This is a movie I was more I loved Renfield. I guess I'm one of the few people who enjoyed Renfield, but I am very excited for Last Voyage of the Demeter. For those who don't know what this is, the Last Voyage of the Demeter is actually a event that took place in the novel of Dracula, which involves a ship called the Demeter, in which Dracula was traveling upon from Romania to London. And on that boat, he killed everyone on the boat. So this is kind of like an inter-prequel. Like, it's kind of like a lost scene in Dracula. I'm kind of worried that this movie will fly under the radar. It's also competing against the Meg 2, which I'm like, whatever. But this movie looks like a great horror film. Andre Overdahl, who has done several, the Last Troll Hunter. He also did Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. He also had a hand in working on Violent Night. And the fact that they're making Dracula not like some suave, man of the night. He's just a monster. He is just an animal. It's giving me like Predator vibes, and I'm really liking it. I like the cast so far, and I'm looking forward to a good horror movie. I sadly have this feeling that it's going to be it's going to be flying under the radar. Like, people are going to be more concerned about the Meg and Ninja Turtles. And don't get me wrong, I am excited for Ninja Turtles. And the Meg, I'm just going to go see and be like, meh. Like, I'm that god. But yeah, Last Voyage of the Demeter has been on my radar. I've always loved the Universal monsters, so I just have to give this a shot. Like, yeah, I got to give it a look. Anyway. So next up is Blue Beetle. Blue Beetle is a DC film after Shazam. After I was interested in Shazam: Fury of the Gods and how bad it shit the bed, I've been watching the trailers for Blue Beetle. I'm like, this is giving me hope. After the Flash and Shazam have thoroughly diarrhea shit the bed for the DCU, and there's no hope for Aquaman. There's a lot of DC is clearly riding on a lot of hope for Blue Beetle, but I'm liking the vibe. I'm loving the suit for Blue Beetle. I'm loving the family vibe and the young adventure heroics to it. I'm loving all of it. Yeah, so Blue Beetle. It's and I pretty much feel like Warner Brothers' hope is banking on more for Blue Beetle to do better than Aquaman. Anyway, so let's move on now to The Exorcist. So, The Exorcist Believer. Now, I'm not excited for this movie. I am interested. I think a lot of my excitement has dropped exponentially due to the fact that, Halloween Ends was so bad. And this is David Gordon Green and the same creative team behind the Halloween 2018 trilogy. Exorcist Believer has, it's really hard to do an Exorcist movie. And this is someone who thinks Exorcist 3 is the best of the films. Yeah. I'm not even, the biggest Exorcist fan. I do acknowledge that movie's place in cinema history as well as horror history, but for me, I've always loved Exorcist 3. That's my favorite. But as Exorcist Believer, I am curious to see how this is going to start a trilogy. Because, yeah, they said this is a new trilogy. Hopefully they won't have, in the third movie, some random love interest, and that'll be the main focus, and we won't get the main stuff with Pazuzu until, the last 20 minutes of the movie. It's more like this movie has, it's real, it's always interesting to see something done with The Exorcist, and, yeah. But I am wondering, we are less than 4 months away. We're 3 months away now from, 2 months. Yeah, we're 2.5 months from Exorcist, and we haven't seen a single trailer for this movie. We have not seen a single damn thing, and yeah, it's more like I want to see where this goes, but yeah. Next up, Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm not the biggest fan of the Five Nights at Freddy's games, but the trailers look fun, they look creepy, and to see Stu as William Afton, aka Springtrap, is really cool. Not Stu, yeah, he is Stu Macher, but yeah, to see Steven, Steve Dillard. I've got a fucking headache, man. It's fucking with me. But also, to see the animatronics as practical effects and as puppets by Jim Henson Studios, it gives me a lot of hope. Like, it generally gives me a lot of hope for this movie. Following that, we have Godzilla -1. Yeah, that trailer was hype. This was another movie that's been on my list and most anticipated movies for 2023. As a Godzilla fan, I was very excited for the feeling of this movie of just it's post-war Japan. We are right after the bomb, and now Godzilla is here to wreck shit further. And this is a December release. This is coming out December 1st, and I've already told my girlfriend that, like, I don't care what we're doing. I don't care what plans we've made. December 1st, we're gonna go see that movie. Like, I've already said, like, that's a day one. That is a day one. But yeah. Next up, the last two are more like, I'll go see them. Because everything else, like, the other 8 are like, yeah, let's go see those. These last 2, it's more like, alright, let's see how it goes. Following it, so the first one being Napoleon. I'm not sold on that trailer. It looks historically inaccurate. Joaquin Phoenix was a total miscast, if you ask me, for Napoleon. And Ridley Scott, it's really hard to get what Ridley Scott you could get. You could get the Martian Ridley Scott, or you could get, Alien Covenant Ridley Scott these days. There's no in between. But yeah, it looks like a big epic, but it also looks like major Oscar bait too, and I really don't like when they try to do Oscar bait these days. And finally, Equalizer 3, because I've enjoyed the other 2 movies. I don't think it needed to be a sequel, or let alone a trilogy, but fuck it, whatever. So those are more like, I'll go see them if I can. Anyway, so honorable mention real quick, a movie called There's Something in the Barn, which has been described as a holiday gnome horror movie, that from Finland. I'm always fun for Finnish horror movies. They do really good on creature features. So There's Something in the Barn it involves gnomes. It's being described as Gremlins meets Christmas Vacation. I'm in. And also, for the hell of it, Meg 2, because I want to see how bad of a train wreck it could be. So there you go, guys. Those are my last 10 movies of 2023 that I am most excited to see. So you guys tell me in the comments below, what are your 10 movies you're excited to see for the rest of the year? Just comment below, let me know. And once again, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.